What's up again, everybody? Happy Saturday. At least it's Saturday for me. Let's do something that I've been waiting for a while. Saturday morning, so I got like my coffee, I got my computer, we're ready to go. We're gonna go through and do this video. I've been hoping to do it for a while, but today is the day. We're gonna go through and look at each of these sets together, just casually. I haven't prepped for this yet. We're just gonna go through and go set by set, look at the cards that are rotating out of Modern, and talk about which cards we're gonna miss, which cards that we're excited to see go, cards that maybe never met their full potential and we're a little sad about, stuff like that, okay? It's just gonna be one of those chill, sit back, relax, enjoy your morning, noon, afternoon, weekend. I wanna give you something that you can sit back, sip on a nice beverage, and enjoy as we go through. So I don't know about you, but I'm ready to get going. Let's go to the Doctor Strange team pack. Okay, DRS. Okay, card by card. We may just kind of blow through some of these. I feel like the Ancient one never got his due. Oof. A little hot. Mystic characters get -3 attack. Not super relevant. Never really was. This was pretty good if you could purchase him. Nowadays, maybe he makes more sense because there are some mystics that are worth it. He's a mystic as well. Maybe you could somehow buy this and get him onto a team with Zatanna. Give him a tune. 2 less to purchase. Man, but you gotta pay so much for him. Maybe you run this before it rotates. Maybe you run this with Page Manager and go get it for like free. Clea. Now Clea was pretty good. This is pretty good. Just pay a bolt, deal 3. That was a good card. I know Ben would always talk about how he almost put that on like a ton of different teams. This Ben, world champion Ben Scott. Faultine bloodline. Get 1 less to field to a minimum of 1. Dark Sorceress. KO target opposing level 1 character die or KO target mystic character die. See, these are all just so expensive, and I think that was the downfall of this set, is it didn't provide win conditions, or set, it's a team pack. It didn't provide win conditions, but it made all of its pieces too expensive for the most part. Of course, I say that, and we're going to get down to Wong at the end and then just chuckle to ourselves about why that card's so good. I wish the Doctor Stranges were good too. Pay 1 less for action dice. If he's 6, maybe you should make it 2 less. Might be interesting. Roll 2 or more action dice, gain 2 life. Life gain. Somebody make life gain good. We've been making custom cards with life gain for a while. They could be good. Prevent all but 1 damage to you from opposing action dice. I feel like that could have been an answer if it were cheaper to certain things. This doesn't come down soon enough. Your opponent pays 1 more to purchase action dice, but you have to invest 7 in it, and then you're charging them 1. That's just really bad. It takes 2 damage when they use an action die. That's interesting, but they can KO an opponent or KO one of their character dice to ignore their ability, so it's like pointless. And you're investing 7 again. See, it's just like these cards are a little subpar. I feel like they could have just lumped this into, you know, whatever previous set, and it would have been just fine. See, I liked this one. That's kind of cool. And it's 6. Okay, Eye of Agamotto. Now, this did see some play. These eyes were actually pretty interesting. When used, place this on a basic action card. When that is used, when the die that corresponds to that card is used, it costs 1 more for your opponents to purchase. I guess not when it's used, excuse me. While on a basic action card, it can be targeted as if it was in the field, so if you wanted to remove it. But while this was in modern rotation, there wasn't a ton of like removal for actions. Place this on a basic action card. While it's there, your opponent uses this basic action die. Eye of Agamotto deals them 1 damage. Man, maybe 2. Maybe just deal it 2 damage. Maybe that's better. How to tweak these cards. If we were to tweak these cards to make them all more playable, I would like lower the purchase costs and maybe up the numbers on their effects. This one's pretty good. When you use that basic action die, your character dice get +1 attack. See, that's pretty good. And it's 3, so that's where it should be, right? That's why that one saw play. The Mindless Ones, I actually messed around with when they came out. I'm going to fix this real quick. There we go. I messed around with the Mindless Ones myself. This one deals you 1 damage. There were some interesting weird things you can do with that because it's actually dealing damage, so you can trigger some interesting combos. Regenerate was always kind of weird to play around with. And then the 3-cost Swarm, I'm pretty sure it was Mindless Ones where I played 3-cost Swarm enough and went, yeah, this just sucks. Oh, I'm going to be sad to see these Scarlet Witches go. This one's interesting. When fielded, search your bag for an action die and roll it. If you do and roll an energy phase, she deals you 2 damage. Okay, but this one right here, Hex Bolts. This one made it onto a lot of my teams before like several of the big hitting sets came out. 4 cost, but you just pay 1 after you use an action die and it goes to prep. That's bonkersly good. Like, they should reprint this card on 3 cost. Plus your stat line is crazy, like a 5/3, that's really good. And then Chaos Magic, when you use an action dice, gain a life. And then finally, Wong, Ally and Fast. This card, man, this card. You know, I always liked this one though. I always liked Faithful Servant. I like making my sidekicks bigger. It's kind of cool to take like a die that everybody has access to and just make it better than your opponent's. I find that incredibly interesting when you take like a fundamental piece of the game and you just make it better than what your opponent has access to. And then there's this one, which I actually did try a few times and it was meh. When fielded, you may pay X energy and sacrifice X sidekicks to deal X damage to target opponent. It'd be kind of cool if maybe I whip this back out and try it on like a Lita team where you field all your sidekicks because it's so easy with Lita and then you just drop bombs on your opponent. It's kind of curious, kind of interesting. Yeah, I'd give that a shot. Before it rotates, maybe that's something we do. That is the Doctor Strange team pack. I'll be sad to see the Wongs go. For the most part, I think. I'm okay with this one leaving just because it was sort of one of those cards that you just reach for before others. But the other two I kind of like. They kind of scratch that itch. I'll always be sad to see Hex Bolts go. That card didn't see enough play. I feel like these missed their chances just a little bit by being a little bit too highly statted, or costed, excuse me. And then a few of these like Clea or Ancient One, Doctor Strange, those were like the abilities I can see being put on lower purchase cost dice, and it would make a ton of sense. And then Dormammu was just terrible. That card was just terrible. That was a bad card right there. All right, the next set. Let's look at the next one. Next one, Iron Man and War Machine starter set. It's kind of a big deal. There were several very important pieces in the IMWM. Where is it? Oh, IMW. But it starts off with Howard Stark. Can't be targeted by globals, and he's an ally. There's no allies currently in the new modern rotation. We just lost all allies. But he can only not be targeted when he's on the top side. What else we got? At the start of your turn, sacrifice this die. This is the one I tried messing around with on the Fish Slap team for a little bit, and then I realized, oh, I don't even need to do it because there's just enough. There's the break points on damage when you field sidekicks and then buff them by 1 or 2 is just already good enough. Not necessary. Sacrifice this if you do. Spin target character die up 1 level and it gains Iron Will, which is kind of cool. I like the theme there, giving something Iron Man Will, which is kind of neat. Iron Will was a keyword that we didn't see printed in the Marvel set because it was like slapped on all of the DC stuff. Hulkbuster Iron Man can only be blocked by character dice with purchase cost 6 or more. That's pretty sweet. I forgot this card existed. Man, if Static Field didn't exist, that card would be something. Suit Up Iron Man. Suit Up, man. Maybe we could rework Suit Up, and that would be something cooler. Like, just more stuff with Suit Up that was beneficial. That'd be kind of cool. So if you don't know Suit Up, if you have Iron Man in the field, when you purchase Hulkbuster Iron Man, you KO Iron Man, and then you bring Hulkbuster Iron Man on level 2. Weirdly enough, like, is Iron Man even in this set? I forget. He should be, right? No, which is weird. It's weird enough when you look at the Iron Man stats, you're actually like, it's like a trade-off. on stats. It's very negligible, the change in Suit Up. I feel like Suit Up could have been cool if there were win KO'd effects attached to like Iron Man, for example, or other things, but there aren't. So it's kind of a bummer. It's still a cool mechanic. 7 cost. Bustin' makes me feel good. The names. When fielded, you may KO target opposing character die with purchase cost 6 or more if you do gain 2 life. There was a weekly dice arena where I think it was the 3 wishes format, and you had to bring 3 different cards, like 7 or 6 or more or something like that, I think is what it was, and you had to wish for them each time. This one was a good addition. Okay, Iron Manor. I liked the global on this. Look at the global. Pay 0 once per turn on your turn. Spin down one of your Iron Man affiliated character dice. You may field 1 for 1 less. That's kind of cool. Suit Up for Iron Man. He gets +1/+1 for each other different Iron Man character dice. Pretty cool. He's 4 too, and he's beefy. Pretty nice. Where's the other one? Excuse me. Whew. Iron Manor gains +1/+1 for each other different active character die. Active Iron Man character die. All right, Iron Spider. These were interesting, but not good enough. But they were 3 cost with a 5/3 top side, kind of like the Scarlet Witch stat line, right? Not a good card. I love how this is Iron Spider Too Cool for Words because they've never used that subtitle before. Double affiliated, it's important to know. 4 cost fist character. When fielded, deal 2 damage to target character die for each different active one of those that you have. So you just pop, 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 which actually is pretty decent, especially if they got sidekicks. Oh, I missed this one. This one I actually messed around with a little bit, because when you purchase it, you can KO either a Spider-Man or this Iron Spider. So if you have one at level 1, you KO it, and then field this one at level 2 for free, which is pretty sweet. Actually messed around with that card. Jarvis. I had this card played against me a good bit. All of these Jarvises, pretty decent. I feel like they needed like one up their level of like play by 1 to be really good. Maybe it's because this is 4 cost. I don't know. That's cool though. When the next thing you field is gonna get +1/+1 and cost 1 less. I think that's a cool way to work around things. Gain X life, where X is the number of character dice you fielded, but he costs 5. See, they just make life gains so prohibitive. I think because they don't want games to go too long, which I understand. You don't want games to go to time constantly. But they've printed such fast win conditions. I feel like they'd have the space to print something that's very life-gainy. A 2 cost blank text in a team pack. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. However, Suit Up Pepper Potts is pretty cool. And this is the one they lose 1 life for each rescue die that rolled energy. So this is like the old school Energize, except it works on the single energy phase as well, which I thought was fun. Because I played around with that one, actually. Draw 1 die for each rescue die you roll that shows an energy phase. If it's that thing, then field them at level 1. That's pretty cool. Yeah, there's not enough of this. Need more Iron Man affiliated character dice for that to be more impactful. And then you have the Space Armor Iron Man. So you got the Suit Up version. Yeah, these ones were not very good. This one reminds me of the old school, oh god, what was that called? Old school Iron Man Philanthropist, which is kind of nice because it gained you life. But that Iron Man Philanthropist, if you've never messed with that, you should. It's pretty sweet. You've got the Space Armor Iron Man 14, number 14-C. This one, I literally never saw this one played. But it's kind of cool. You field it on these 2 sides, it gets overcrushed, and then stat flip it maybe. The War Machines, I remember being pretty good. Fast is not bad. Fast, when it KOs an opposing character die with combat damage, deal 2 to your opponent. So it's kind of like a weird overcrush. This one was the most popular of the 3. And then finally, Fast, Suit Up Iron Man. Sidekicks can't block War Machine on this side. That's a pretty cool one. Now, the most important thing from this set were the basic actions. So these are no longer in rotation. KO a target character die with suit up. Everybody knows this card was so highly played, and the fact that we're losing Armor Wars is such a big deal. Like, all of those suit up teams that we just talked about, all of those are just getting a really, really big buff. Oh wait, never mind, I don't know what I'm talking about. Cone of Cold. Cone of Cold hits the road. We don't actually have a reprint of Cone of Cold. Technically, the Mjolnir Global, or the Mjolnir card, is rotating too, and that's close to Cone of Cold, but it's not the same. Maybe we get a reprint of this because they love reprinting Cone of Cold. It's a cool little card, but I haven't used it, like the ability, actually since, oh, I don't know, 2016. Hyper Velocity. First of all, the art on this card is sick. It's insane. It's awesome. And the ability was really cool too. The fact that it cost 5 made it a little tough to use, but that's no longer in rotation. This one as well. This was good on all of those, like Beholder slash with a big guy from the whatever set. You know, the other one, the non-Beholder guy. Why can't I think of Ultraman's name? Ultraman, right? They used that card. Smash. This is one that technically has a reprint, but technically doesn't have a reprint because it's a separate card. But Wallop has the same global. This is an extremely, being super serious, this is an extremely important card because of the global. Pay a fist, target blocked character die deals no combat damage this turn. Going into a combat damage meta, this card is extremely important to have in rotation. So if it goes away, and if Wallop for some reason goes away, then we don't have this as a tool to use. You can use this on the main step, by the way. Just target one of your opponent's character dies when they pass priority. So if they're playing Istrid Horn, they can turn this off. But if they're playing Eddie Guerrero, they have to wait past priority. You get to use this global. Then they can push their attackers. But at that point, you've, let's say they have something really big in the field, like double overcrushing Thanos, right? All of a sudden, that double overcrushing Thanos isn't going to deal any damage when it's blocked. So their team falls apart if this global is there. So it's really important to note if this global is rotating or not, and there's some question as to whether or not the Smash global, the Wallop global, Wallop is part of the rotation. I think it is. It made sense. I think it was listed as part of the rotation, but there's some people that don't. Surprise attack, hitting the road. Upgrade fortification, hitting the road. Upgrade proton cannon. That's kind of a bummer. Though again, nowadays we actually have cards that have like overcrush and beefy stats, so you don't necessarily need this as much, but this was huge on fix-it teams, right? That was the point. Upgrade smoke screen. Kind of saw a little bit of messing around with and then went away. And then upgrade unibeam. I literally never saw this on a team before, but it's kind of cool that it gives it fast and +2 attack. So those are the first 2 sets. We're 2 down. Next time we're gonna cruise through. Maybe we'll cruise through like 3. Maybe we'll go a little faster. I'm not sure. What do you think? Should we take it nice and leisurely? Should we go fast through these sets? You tell me in a comment below. How about that? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like some more of this, if you want to see more of this, feel free to hit the like and the subscribe button. We are getting closer and closer to 1,500 subscribers. If you want to be someone that's entered in the 1,500 subscriber giveaway, number 1, you're going to need to be subscribed. And then I'll tell you how to enter after that. As always, everybody, thanks for watching.